Welcome to the Uncanny Lens, where we are exploring self-concept reflections in pop culture and media. I'm your host, Jinx.
And I'm Minx.
And today we are talking about Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Did you have so much fun? Okay, so you know my birthday was last Friday, and that was what I wanted to do for my birthday, was go to see the Barbie movie.
It came out on the day
delightful.
on your birthday. Yeah.
I know. And so everything has been like Barbie-tastic since then. Well, or I guess before that too. But I mean, everything from like the outfit that I wore that day to the cupcakes that we got for my birthday. We went to Sprinkles and we got the Barbie cupcakes that they had. It was a like Barbie evening for me. And then I walked around and was jazz Barbie as I went over to listen to some jazz in the park. So it was wonderful. How did you celebrate the new Barbie movie coming out?
I snuck out of the house so that my daughter didn't know that I was leaving. like a bad habit. Like I was going somewhere naughty at 9:30 in the morning, and I sat by myself. But that was my experience. But you know, I was sitting by myself. I had like my iced coffee. And I was wearing my Birkenstocks, so it was pretty fun that those came up in the movie. I don't know what our angle around spoilers is going to be. Should we kind of do a disclaimer right now, or?
I think maybe we could say there may be spoilers.
Yeah,
we'll try to be really careful, but I don't want there to be anybody feeling misled. So we'll try to avoid spoilers.
Yeah. Anyway, the Birkenstock's not a big spoiler there. So, I mean, it was so fun. I was, I sat there by myself and cried through half of it, and it was lovely. And then I got to come home and play with my daughter afterwards, and that was just so fun for me.
I love that. I saw it with my dad. So he saw it with his daughter, and he laughed. He really enjoyed it. He thought it was so funny that like there were multiple times when he like laughed out loud that I could hear him over the volume of the movie. And I really enjoyed hearing him laugh and enjoy it in a way that I wasn't maybe expecting him to. And at parts that I didn't know that he would necessarily think were funny. So I really enjoyed that. And I also just enjoyed being able to see it in the theater with other people who were really excited. There were multiple other people in the theater who were all dressed in pink or had Barbie fashions going for them. And there was also a display set up outside of the theater of a Barbie box, like the packaging for Barbie,
cute,
that you could stand in and like pose.
Fun.
And so there was a bit of a line of people taking pictures, myself included. My dad was like taking a lot of pictures of me posing and having fun in my Barbie package. I'm a Barbie girl and I'm living in a Barbie world. And let's just take a minute to acknowledge that Barbie has had this immense influence on not only like present day, right? The influence that we're seeing right now from the Barbie movie coming out, but on generations of people, from everything from her iconic fashion to her dream house in Malibu. We even see Paris Hilton talk about how she's Malibu Barbie. Like she is the epitome of a real life Malibu Barbie.
Yeah. Barbie came out, the first Barbie came out in 1959, which is the year after my mom was born. And I was talking to one of her best friends yesterday, about like how big Barbie has been in her lifetime. Whether or not that's good or bad, a lot of people have very, very mixed feelings about Barbie, and that comes up in the movie. And even as I was reflecting upon the whole Barbie industry, it really is a mixed bag, Like I do have memories of joy and play and fantasy land and playing with my girlfriends. And, and when you got a new Barbie for Christmas or something, like that was so exciting, so cool. One of my favorites was this one that had a boombox. You could like press the button and it played like hip hop music or something. And that was like, oh my God, it was the coolest thing in the world. So, and then the other side of me is like, thinks about Barbie as kind of this epitome of capitalism in our society. And there is like this dark side and this dark underbelly, right? And when you're getting a little bit older, maybe you do weird things to your Barbie and they bring them up in the movie. But yeah, there's like this grotesque aspect, I guess, as well that I want to explore here. So
what I think is really fun about Barbie as a reflection of self-concept is to see how it does evoke so many polarizing ideas and emotions about what she may stand for. There are people who see it as very empowering, and there are people who see it as very disempowering. And even in the movie, they address this idea of Barbie being a bimbo and like vapid. What I think is interesting about these reflections when it comes to Barbie is we create with our imagination. So when we're playing with our Barbie dolls, we are in this state of creation. We have built these worlds. Anybody who's played with Barbie dolls has built a world for their Barbie. Even if they weren't playing with name brand Barbie, they were playing with off-brand Barbies. You were building worlds for these dolls and relationships. Stories they had. It was sort of like, maybe like a digital version now would be The Sims, right? So you were building these whole worlds. Marriages happened. It was a whole like soap opera
drama. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like, and I mentioned to you off air that I was not allowed to have Ken dolls, and so my Barbies had relationships with Bambi. Other toys that I had. And so Bambi was one of like my Barbie had a relationship. She was in a committed relationship with Bambi. I had a Bambi toy from like Ken. McDonald's or something, but no Ken. Yeah. So there was no Kenergy allowed in my home growing up. And so when we're in this space where we are using our imagination, it becomes a very personal thing. It's not just a toy. It's something that you're creating and that you're like vicariously sort of living through your Barbie.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways that's the whole idea behind Barbie is this idea that you can be anything. And that's why she has so many versions and so many different self-concepts. And as we've gone on through time, we've seen Barbie become more inclusive and diverse as well. Not only with the different colors that we see Barbie come in, but we see different hair textures now, and we see different abilities in Barbies.
Even like the vitiligo, like the skin conditions, I was looking through their kind of catalog of all the different Barbies that they have available now, and it's extremely diverse. One of the things one thing that I wanted to bring up, I found this quote on a website that was kind of about the foundation of Barbie by Ruth Handler, and they kind of talk about this in the movie. That she noticed a gap in the market because her daughter Barbara was playing with paper dolls. Because she only had baby dolls. And so she realized that, oh my gosh, what if I make a doll that's an adult? Right? So she invented these fashion dolls that were three-dimensional so that they could use their imagine their future selves in those, right? And so the whole philosophy behind Barbie was that through the doll, a little girl could be anything that she wanted to be, and that she had choices in her future. So I really loved that, and I think that there's been a lot of, capitalism has kind of bastardized a lot of that initial mission, and maybe that's in the way that, which models do they think are going to sell best, right? And they even bring this up in the movie. Oh, that's a big seller. That's
oh, that'll make money, right?
That one will make money, right?
Well, and what's interesting
and like
is
Midge, nobody wants to see a pregnant Barbie, right?
or I guess Alan, the nerdy Ken type, the just average Ken kind of guy. What's interesting though is that capitalism ends up bleeding into so many other things, as we've seen with the release of this movie. In not only this article that you sent me, actually, that was in The Guardian, I believe, about was this a sellout for Greta to direct this movie. And what's interesting is to see how this has completely saturated our culture right now.
Yeah.
Everything is Barbie. Okay, so I wanted you to go to Google and Google Barbie.
Okay. All right. I've got kind of a slow connection today, but yep, Barbie toys and play sets, and then there's the video trailer, and
wait.
And there's like all these fun there's just like a big burst of pink fireworks.
Yes. Okay. Yay!
Yeah. That finally hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, oh no, maybe it's the internet. Okay, great. I'm so glad it happened despite that. Yeah. I was not expecting that today. And I was like, I'm going to pull up Barbie real quick before we start recording, just in case I have any questions or I need to verify anything. And when I pulled up Barbie, like the pink Google came up and then those pink fireworks started going off. And I was like, oh dang, like even Google's in on it. Like everybody is, I mean, we are. Let's just acknowledge that right now. That's one of the reasons that we pivoted to record this episode this week, was because we both got to see the movie and we wanted to talk about how Barbie is just reflecting back to us so many different self-concepts, and which one do we want to choose? And that's the excitement of Barbie, and that's why she's so iconic, because it also gives us this opportunity. Okay, hold on. This is going to tie in. It gives us this opportunity to dream of Barbie in other ways now, because this way that capitalism has bled into all of this allows like Barbie type fashion. You can buy a Barbie car. You can buy Barbie homes. You can have any kind of Barbie career. Like, it is a Barbie dream world, and we're fucking living in it.
Yeah. I even saw a pink BMW driving down Highway 1 yesterday. And this lady was like super blonde hair, jumps out with her like pink sundress on.
Oh my God, that's the cutest.
I mean, we're both in California, right? So maybe this doesn't happen all over the country, but I mean, it kind of feels like it is right now.
Well, I know that Paris Hilton has a pink Bentley. I don't know if she still has. Anyway, I'm just saying that these things exist in the world. Yes. I even started watching a show the other day. Okay, it's called the Barbie Dreamhouse Challenge, which is a brand new show, and it is hosted by Ashley Graham. And it takes these HGTV stars and puts them in, they buy this beautiful house, and now they're like renovating it to the inside to look like a Barbie house. So each team gets a different decade that they have to decorate the house according to. And then like Barbie fans are voting on it. And then one of the Barbie fans gets to stay in the house a weekend getaway.
Is it like hosted by Airbnb or something? That would be brilliant, by the way.
It's so interesting that this has all become manifest in our physical world. The things that only lived in our imaginations before, our little girl imaginations, or little boy, whoever imaginations, our people imaginations, our human imaginations. We were just collectively creating all of these things. These things exist in the real world now. These cars, these homes, these clothes, they all exist in the real world. And it's gone into cartoons, video games
Mm-hmm.
and more toys. And so let's talk a little bit about that. Before the
Yeah,
Barbie
well,
movie, there was
even
Barbie
if you
cartoons.
and Barbie toys. And if you want to go, Barbie came out in 1959, and of course there were like female doctors, and but in this Barbie universe, like women rule the world, right? And that's even what the toys did. There were like so many Barbie presidents, or there was a Barbie astronaut before there was an actual astronaut that was female, that identified as female, going to space. So, like,
Wow.
let's talk about how maybe Barbie actually, for those of us who maybe even aren't 100% on board with what Barbie means in our culture, it has paved the way to a certain degree, I think.
Wow. So did you know that there is a Mattel theme park that's going to have a Barbie beach house?
No, I didn't.
And it's opening in Phoenix, Arizona in 2024.
I had no idea. Are you okay, I gotta go?
Well,
They're
yes,
gonna do a
but
second
also,
movie too. They're totally there's gonna be a sequel.
It's amazing how this has come into so many different things. So here's a few other things of the way Barbie has sort of infiltrated the real world and not just coming from our imaginations and play anymore, right? So there's something called the Barbie Dream Gap Project, and it's to raise awareness of the phenomenon known as the dream gap. Beginning at the age of 5, girls begin to doubt their own intelligence where boys do not.
Oh, interesting.
In May of 2020, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Mattel announced a new line of career dolls modeled after the first responders and essential workers of 2020.
Mm-hmm. It did.
And for every doll purchased, Mattel donated a doll to the First Responders Children Foundation. Mattel celebrated its 60th year anniversary of the Barbie Dream House by partnering with Habitat for Humanity International. So we're even going into nonprofits, and that's because that's the only one I see as far as that's concerned. Which again brings me back to sort of the thing that made me feel kind of icky about that new show that I'm watching that's hosted by Ashley Graham. Nothing against Ashley Graham. I just can't remember the name of the stupid show. What is it called again? Barbie Dreamhouse Challenge. Sorry, Ashley Graham. The Barbie Dreamhouse Challenge. Okay, that's what feels icky to me about it, is it's like, okay, there's like people right across the street from me who don't have a home, and it feels icky to me. But also, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum, because I understand that this is bringing a lot of joy. And I think that's what it boils down to, is Barbie represents a lot of joy and play. And that's a big part of what I tap into when I am exploring different self-concepts within myself, or I'm trying to embody different energies or get to a closer version of my ideal self. A lot of times it does feel like I'm playing Barbie. I'm trying on different outfits. Yeah. I'm trying on different careers, sunglasses, hats, different careers, different hobbies. Yeah. Different colors that I like to wear, different music that I like to listen to, different fragrances or scents that I like to have in my environment and surroundings. It's amazing that Barbie exists as a sort of physical stand-in for us to use as I almost want to say like a vision board, right? We could kind of use Barbie as a little vision board. Yeah. One thing that I loved about our, kind of our plan for what we were going to talk about today, and why I was really excited about this as a topic for self-concept, because it is essentially how we all, if you played with a Barbie doll or a doll that was like an adult version of a human, when you were a little kid, it was your first opportunity to explore self-concept in a different way, right? So we're looking at these adult versions of ourselves and exploring like trying on like, oh, how does this feel? How does it feel to want to be a pilot and fly this, airplane? How does it feel to be a doctor and save these little animals or humans, right? Yes. Okay, let's get a little deeper with something though. So here's an opportunity. If you notice that a certain type of Barbie maybe triggers you, use that opportunity to look at your self-concept. use that as an opportunity to do some parts work and figure out what's going on that might be bringing this up for me, that I'm uncomfortable with this being something that's out there. So is there a part of you that feels racist and you need to work on some anti-racism, internalized racism, internalized misogyny? There's all sorts of different things, internalized ableism. One of the reasons the appeal has been so enduring is because she adapts to modern times. Yeah. And that has included becoming more diverse and inclusive. Yeah. And it would be a missed opportunity if we are only looking at Barbie as this chance to dress up in pink or be fabulous with our fashion or be iconic or have this kind of, particular car or bling out our house or whatever we're doing. It would be a missed opportunity to not also do our shadow work and see what else Barbie can bring up for us and what we can learn about ourselves, what we can heal in a fun and playful way and move forward so that we can take that into the world.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the people that are triggered saying like, no, Barbie was supposed to be this like white blonde chick, and then, everybody had to come in and want their own version, and now there's like a curvy Barbie or...
The first Barbie was introduced in both blonde and brunette. So Barbie, she was never meant to be just one thing.
No. Why do people get... It's interesting. Let's think about, why do people get so offended by this kind of stuff?
Well, and that's just really what I'm getting into is because I really believe, based on my experience and the work that I've done to work on healing some of the racism that I have learned from the internalized misogyny and internalized ableism and things like that I needed to work on healing within myself. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that anytime I feel resistance to something in my world or in my environment, it's because there's something there that I need to heal. If I have the capacity and if I want to be brave enough to work on healing that. And I always choose yes. I always, even if I don't have the capacity, which is something I probably need to take a look at too, is like not pushing myself too much, but I do always answer yes to that question. Yes, I want to do better every day, every moment that I have an opportunity to learn and do better. That's what I choose, and that's what I want to do.
One common theme that I've noticed with a lot of people that I talk to about Barbie and memories that I have is Barbie mutilation as an artistic outlet. So, and we see this in the movie. It's like a very common theme. It usually starts when you want to cut her hair, do something pretty, and it just becomes something really grotesque and disturbing. I think that's part of her mystique for a lot of people. Like, I remember having weird and disturbing thoughts as a kid and kind of reenacting those out with my Barbie. And it's like super not appropriate and you don't talk about it, right? But it's like, I think every girl probably does something weird with her Barbie. She can be like a vehicle for exploring adulthood, which is not always pretty. And we notice that as kids, right? So the grotesque is definitely a part of this.
I didn't go through this phase as I was phasing out Barbie where I was like destroying them. That's not how it worked, how it worked for me. What it felt more for me was as I was becoming very like punk rock, I'm so cool, fuck everything. Like, I love pink and I love dresses and I also love these big combat boots, Doc Marten type thing, where you would wear these like baby doll dresses with like with combat like those boots, big boots. And with like barrettes in your hair. And like, I totally went like, that was my style.
Yeah, but there was this like kind of edgy Barbie phase for people, I think.
There was this thing that was happening though, where we were taking Barbies and we were intentionally sort of artistically and intentionally sort of perverting them in the same way that we were perverting these feminine styles of dress. Yeah. And so we were doing something different with our Barbie in a way to like express ourselves, but we weren't playing with Barbies anymore. So we were teenagers. We were 15, 16, going into, early adulthood when that was happening for me, but definitely went through a Barbie mutilation and making Barbie grotesque phase as well. We would also make her bloody. We liked, I don't know why. It makes me It makes me wonder.
It's
I mean,
true. It's
clearly there was a lot
disturbing,
of trauma in my past, but wow.
Well, but I think this is also important. Like, Barbie was a vehicle for us to explore disturbing thoughts and feelings. And I know that I'm not the only one that's done that. I've had friends send me, I told them that I was doing this episode, and my friend sends me this, like, Barbie orgy tree that she has. It's so funny.
Yes. I love it. I love it. It makes me so happy to see things like I love art like that so much.
And it's not to say that we don't still appreciate her, but she can be utilized in these not so pretty and pink ways as well. As like a therapeutic tool for like talking about feelings. And that's what it is. It's a therapeutic tool as well as a toy, right?
It is. Oh, we love you, Barbie.
Even though we popped off your head and chopped off all your hair. Maybe burned a leg.
Oh my God. As we see, Barbie can mean just about anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's even like a kitty cat Barbie out there somewhere and a unicorn Barbie. I mean, we know there's mermaid Barbies.
Totally. Like, oh my God, there are these Barbies that are like, I guess inspired from that TV show, The Masked Singer, I believe it's called. I've never seen it, but there are these people hiding in like costumes, right? And so they kind of look like furries. The Barbies look like furries.
Yes, okay. You know, we did Tube to Work Day. Uncanny Occasions did Tube to Work Day in Boulder, Colorado on July 14th. And when we did that, I was Mermaid Barbie that day. So I had all of my pink stuff on with my tail, and it was fun times. I even had a pink water squirter that I was squirting people with. There was a squid. There were lots of people dressed as pirates. There were sharks. Sorry, I got off topic there a little bit. The Mermaid Barbie stuff got me really excited. So
Barbie can be all these fun, playful things too. She's not just like this fashionista or this, serious adult doll. Right, she can also be a mermaid or a unicorn or a fairy or, she's not just a human, I guess we can also say. She is a magical, mythical creature as well.
She is iconic. She is a goddess. She is all of us. In addition to all of that fun with Barbie, we're also going to plan a Barbie paint and process paint night. So stay tuned for information about that. We're going to discuss Barbie as we paint. It's like a sip and paint night, but we're talking about this pop culture icon that we all fucking love and how she has influenced our self-concept and how we can use that to further embody things, the energy that we want so we can manifest things in our life and reach our goals, or how we can use it to heal ourselves and to reach out to some of those shadow sides. Oh, and then we were talking about the Uncanny Muse, and we're also going to take that. So if you want, you can become you can be a subscriber to the Uncanny Muse. But we're also going to release our newsletter, which will be a condensed version, and that'll come out more often. So look for all of these fun new things that are coming forward. We're so excited, this energy that we're feeling. And there's just no denying that we have Barbie to thank for this.
We do.
In so many ways. Not every way, but in so many.
Yeah.
Well, I would just like to express gratitude to our audience for joining us today on this extraordinary journey through our uncanny lens of Barbie's self-concept reflections and her profound impacts on pop culture and media and literally everything around us right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like we're all consumed. Yeah, but I'm excited to give my daughter her first Barbie doll and see what happens and encourage her to kind of explore and play. I think that's going to be, I was even on the website, which one do I pick? Obviously the one that's had recycled plastic, but which version?
I'm excited to be able to see your daughter have that experience and to see how she'll use Barbie with her imagination.
Oh my
I'm
God,
really
it's
excited.
Be so interesting to re-experience that childhood.
Oh, how fun!
And that's
what we saw in the movie.
Years.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
but in such a way that I think was kind of unexpected. I mean, for me, it was, I'm really good at doing the whole suspension of disbelief thing when I watch a movie. So I was not expecting what happened in the Barbie movie. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm just going to stop there. Okay, so we're going to put out a pop quiz. So, pop quiz hotshot. We're going to ask you some fucking Barbie questions. I just watched the Keanu Reeves movie. It was not Speed, but I just watched Keanu Reeves movie last night, so he's on my mind. We're going to do a pop quiz where you can get some more insight into your Barbie self-concept. You can sign up for our email list. And in the meantime, we'd like to ask you to please subscribe, share, like, rate, make pink firework glitter, sparkles, animations, I don't know, whatever, for our podcast and to help support us so that we can have more amazing listeners like you join us on this journey of self-concept reflections in pop culture and media. And we also invite you to share any feedback, comments, suggestions that you, our beloved community, have and would like to share about this episode or any of our past episodes, or any episode that you might like to see in the future on the Uncanny Lens podcast.
Yes. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.